I just watched all of the Evil Dead films for the first time, and I'm about to give you my ranking on all of the films. Coming in at dead last, we have The Evil Dead 1981. Look, people say it's a cult classic. To me, it just didn't really land. Maybe it's because I had high expectations for it. I don't really know. I mean, I can respect the POV shots. For it being Sam Raimi's first major film, it was probably good for its time, but it just doesn't, for me at least, land the same it might have been for people in 1981. And for that reason, I gotta give it a 5 out of 10. Coming in at third, we have Evil Dead 2. This is when we get to see the more groovy side of Ash, if you will. I just think it's an overall step up from the first one. Every character except Ash in the first one was annoying, so I'm glad they made like 50% of all the characters in Evil Dead 2 not as annoying. Now, we all know Bobby Joe and her boyfriend are stupid, but the other chick and Ash, they're fine. Also, it does dive into the lore more of the Necronomicon stuff, and it's a good way of leading into Army of Darkness. Speaking of Army of Darkness, in number 2, I have Army of Darkness. I think it's the pinnacle of the Evil Dead trilogy. I think this is the biggest character growth yet that I've seen from Ash. I think it's the best time I've had with an Evil Dead film since now. But now on to number 1, a more unnerving film and more horror-sided is Evil Dead 2013. Now look, some people say this is a reboot, some say it's a sequel. We're just gonna call it short and call it a requel. A lot of the characters, specifically David, make very questionable decisions. Like, David is the most gullible person out of everybody. Eric was the one that freaking released the Evil Dead. I mean, you stupid, you literally saw the writings on it say, don't write, don't read, don't say out loud. But the gore, just everything was creepy. I mean, I was doing this at some points. Now, the way the movie ended, I don't know, but it still manages to come at number 1 for me. So yeah, that was my ranking on the Evil Dead franchise. Hope you enjoyed.